Hi, I'm Dave Cross, founder of the Photoshop Virtual Summit. I'd like to take just a few moments to introduce you to the concept of the Photoshop Virtual Summit 2. Back in April, we put together the very first Photoshop Virtual Summit, largely in response to what at the time we thought and hoped was a temporary situation, the pandemic with COVID-19. And we put together the summit because of what was happening in the world, the fact that everything was kind of in shutdown and any live in-person events were being canceled and postponed. So if you wanted to learn about Photoshop, we felt there was no better way than to stay at home and be safe and watch some of the world's top instructors teaching Photoshop online. Now, I'm happy to say it was very successful. We had many thousands of people from all around the world registering and tuning in to watch. And by far, one of the most common questions that we received once the summit was done is, when's the next one? So I'm very happy to announce that Photoshop Virtual Summit 2, or the sequel, is scheduled for November 9th through the 13th. Now, in all honesty, I didn't really think this was going to happen because I thought by now the pandemic would be over and life would be back to normal and in-person events and conferences and trade shows would all be back up and running, but of course they're not. So that's why we decided to go ahead and have a second virtual summit. Now, the way it works, we have 20 top Photoshop instructors, each teaching 2 classes. Those classes are about 45 minutes each, roughly, so it's about 30 hours of Photoshop instruction for free. Yes, for free. You can register to watch the Photoshop Virtual Summit 2 for free using the button you'll see below. The way it works is like this. Every day, a new class goes live on the hour, Eastern Standard Time, although as we'll see, it doesn't really matter about the time zone. And once a class has gone live, it is free to watch for 48 hours. At that time, it is archived into our VIP section, which I'll talk about more in a moment. Each class is a recording, so you don't have to worry about being there live. You won't miss anything if you're not there, if it's in a weird time zone for you. It doesn't really matter because, again, you have 48 hours to watch the class as often as you want. Now, the sessions that will be included in this virtual summit are different than the first one. So if you did take part in the first virtual summit, there's lots of new classes that are available to you this time around, for everything from sessions aimed at beginners to veteran Photoshop users and everything in between. So there's something for you no matter what your level of Photoshop is. Now, as I mentioned, we also have the VIP pass as an option, and this is an optional purchase which gives you unlimited lifetime access to watch the classes as often as you want. You also get the option to download audio-only recordings. We've asked each instructor to provide session notes, so those will be in the VIP area, as well as any downloadable files, practice files, and things of that nature. And there might also be a few bonuses thrown in for the VIPs as well. The regular price is $147, which is honestly a great price when you think of the number of classes and the amount of content you get for that. But we also have an early bird option. If you purchase the VIP pass before noon on the first day of the conference, which is November 9th, then you get the early bird price of $97. And those are the same prices we had at the first Photoshop Virtual Summit. The feedback we've got from our VIP members from last time has been tremendous. They love the ability to go back and watch the classes and look at the notes and download files and listen to the audio recording. So it really is quite a tremendous option that we have available. And again, it is optional. We're trying to make this as accessible as possible. So like I said, each class is available for free for 48 hours. And this optional VIP pass is a great way if you want ongoing ability to go back and rewatch the classes at your leisure at any time. So I encourage you to scroll down the page a little further. You can see a list of all the instructors and the titles of their classes. There's an option to download a PDF of the schedule if you wish. And you can see kind of the benefits of the type of training we're going to provide. And if you're interested in the VIP pass, you can also get a bit more information about that as well. So I hope you'll join us for the Photoshop Virtual Summit 2, November 9th through the 13th. Wait, one last thing I forgot to mention. It's very important that when you do register for a free pass, that you use a valid email address and it's all spelt correctly and everything else, because once the summit starts, the way you'll be able to access it is each morning you'll get an email with a link to that day's classes. So it's very important that we have your correct email address in order for you to be able to get the information you need to attend the summit. All right, that's it. Hope again to see you at the Photoshop Virtual Summit 2.